The Deep Space Monitoring Station on Europa lit up with unusual signals. At first, the operators thought it was just another routine detection of space debris. But this was different. The patterns were too regular, too structured to be natural. Admiral James Reed stood at the main observation deck of the Earth Defense Force headquarters, his weathered face reflecting in the reinforced glass as he studied the holographic display. The mysterious objects had appeared just beyond Pluto's orbit, moving in formation. This was the moment humanity had been preparing for over the last 50 years. "Sir, the objects are accelerating. They're heading directly into the solar system," reported Lieutenant Adams, her fingers dancing across the control panel. "Energy signatures match none of our known profiles." Reed nodded slowly. "Activate Protocol 7. Alert all EDF bases. But remember, we play this exactly as planned. We appear primitive, surprised, and harmless." Across the solar system, hidden military installations powered up silently. Defensive platforms disguised as communication satellites shifted imperceptibly. Humanity had long suspected they weren't alone, and they hadn't wasted time waiting to be found. The alien ships, sleek and gleaming with a metallic purple sheen, decelerated as they approached Mars. Their design spoke of advanced technology and military precision. 3 smaller vessels broke away from the main group, clearly heading toward Earth. In New York, the United Earth Council convened in their underground chamber. Representatives from all nations watched the live feed as the alien ships entered Earth's orbit. The room remained calm. This was not panic they felt, but anticipation. The largest alien vessel transmitted a message in multiple frequencies. Earth's computers had already cracked their basic communication protocols months ago, when they first detected their long-range transmissions. They knew who these visitors were: the Galactic Empire, self-proclaimed rulers of over 3,000 star systems. "Greetings, primitive world." The message began in several Earth languages, translated by their computers. "We are representatives of the Galactic Imperial Fleet. We come to welcome you into our enlightened empire." Reed smiled slightly at the word primitive. If they only knew. The alien ships landed at the designated meeting point in the International Neutral Zone, formerly known as Switzerland. Their delegation emerged, tall humanoids with slight blue tints to their skin, wearing ornate uniforms that sparkled under Earth's sun. The Earth delegation, led by Ambassador William Green, approached them with carefully practiced expressions of awe and surprise. Behind his diplomatic smile, Green knew their visitors were scanning everything, assessing Earth's technological level, looking for military capabilities. "Let them look," he thought. "They won't find what we don't want them to see." The Imperial commander, who introduced himself as High Commander Vale, spoke with barely concealed condescension. "Your world has achieved basic spaceflight and primitive atomic power. You qualify for incorporation into the Empire. We offer you protection, guidance, and eventual elevation to full member status." "This is overwhelming," Ambassador Green replied, playing his role perfectly. "We would need time to discuss this with our world leaders." Vale nodded magnanimously. "Of course, we understand this is much for a young species to process. You have 1 planetary rotation to provide your initial response." What the Imperial delegation didn't know was that deep beneath the Antarctic ice, Earth's most advanced defense center was tracking every heartbeat, every weapon, and every communication signal from their ships. The entire meeting was being analyzed by quantum computers that humanity had kept hidden from even their own public. As the first day of contact drew to a close, Admiral Reed received a message from the Antarctic base. The analysis was complete. The Empire's technology, while advanced, was predictable. Their weapons were powerful, but followed known principles. Most importantly, their defenses had clear vulnerabilities. Reed sent a single encrypted message to all Earth Defense Force commands. "Protocol 7 proceeding as planned. All units maintain alert status. Remember, we are the mice until we choose to be lions." The Empire had come expecting to find another primitive world to add to their collection. They would soon learn that humanity had spent the last 50 years preparing for this exact moment. Earth was not going to be another star on their map. The Empire had just knocked on the wrong door. The morning sun cast long shadows across the United Earth Council chamber as Imperial Ambassador Marcus strode in with his delegation. His blue-tinted face showed no emotion, but his posture radiated authority. The chamber, filled with Earth's leaders, fell silent. "Your time for consideration has ended," Marcus announced, his voice echoing through the hall. "The Empire awaits your answer." Council President Robert Turner stood up slowly. His gray hair and kind face masked a mind as sharp as a razor. "We have indeed reached a decision, Ambassador. But first, we have questions about the nature of Imperial protection." Marcus waved his hand dismissively. "Standard procedures. We will establish bases on your moon, Mars, and key orbital positions. Imperial ships will patrol your system. You will provide resources as needed." "Resources?" Turner asked innocently. "What kind of resources?" "Metals, primarily. Your planet is rich in rare elements. The Empire requires a 40% share of all mining operations." Marcus paused, then added, "This is non-negotiable." The council members exchanged glances. They had expected this. Every conquered world in the Empire's history had faced the same demands. But Earth was different. Earth had planned. "Perhaps," Turner said carefully, "you would like to see some of our mining operations, to assess their value to the Empire." Marcus nodded, pleased at what he saw as submission. He followed Turner and a small group to what appeared to be a normal mining facility in Australia's outback. As they approached, Turner pressed a hidden button on his watch. Deep underground, massive doors silently slid open. What the Empire thought was a simple mining operation was actually one of Earth's largest shipyards. Here, hidden from orbital scans by advanced cloaking technology, humanity had built its defense fleet. "Before you deliver your ultimatum, Ambassador," Turner said, his voice changing from submissive to firm, "you should understand what you're dealing with." The ground rumbled. Marcus watched in shock as the desert floor split open. A massive warship, sleek and black, rose from the hidden base. Its design was unlike anything in the Empire's fleet. More ships emerged, each displaying technology that should have been impossible for a primitive world. "Impossible," Marcus whispered. You're supposed to be pre-space flight." Admiral Reed stepped forward from the Earth delegation. "We learned long ago to hide our true capabilities. Your Empire isn't the first to send scouts to our system. We've been watching, learning, and preparing." The color drained from Marcus's face as he received urgent messages from the Imperial ships in orbit. Similar revelations were happening worldwide. Hidden bases were revealing themselves. Earth's orbital defense platforms were dropping their disguises. This is defiance." Marcus sputtered. "The Empire will not stand for this." "No," Turner corrected calmly. "This is a warning. Earth will not be joining your Empire. We will not be surrendering our resources. And if your Empire wishes to force the issue," he gestured at the assembled fleet, "we are prepared." Marcus's delegation hurried back to their ships, all pretense of diplomacy forgotten. As they lifted off, Earth's true defensive capabilities became fully visible. A network of satellites activated, creating an energy shield around the planet. Hidden bases on Mars and Venus revealed massive gun platforms. In the council chamber, Turner addressed the assembled leaders. "The die is cast. The Empire will not take this lightly. They will return with a war fleet." Admiral Reed smiled grimly. "Let them come. Operation Porcupine is ready. Earth's defenses have teeth they haven't seen before." As the Imperial ships fled the solar system, they transmitted a final message. "This defiance will bring the full might of the Empire down upon you." Earth's response was brief. "We know your capabilities better than you know ours. This is not defiance. This is independence." Earth is closed to Imperial expansion. Any hostile fleet entering our system will be considered an act of war. The Empire had never received such a response from a primitive world. They didn't know that humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment. The real test would come when they returned with their war fleet. But Earth was ready. The mouse had shown its claws, and the lion was about to learn that size isn't everything. The warning came from Neptune Station first. The space around the blue planet warped as hundreds of Imperial ships tore through space, their engines burning bright against the darkness. The Empire had returned, just as Earth had expected. In the Earth Defense Force Command Center, Admiral Reed watched the holographic display as red dots appeared, marking each Imperial ship. "Right on schedule," he muttered. "They brought exactly what we thought they would." The Imperial fleet was massive. Over 500 warships arranged in the Empire's standard arrow formation. Their lead ship alone was the size of a small city. They had come to make an example of Earth. "All stations, execute Operation Porcupine," Reed ordered. Across the solar system, hidden weapons platforms came to life. Earth's defenders had placed their pieces carefully over decades, turning the whole solar system into one giant trap. The Imperial commander's message boomed through all channels. "Primitive world, you have defied the Empire. Surrender now or be destroyed. You have 1 hour to lower your defenses." Reed's response was simple: "Come and get us." The Imperial fleet moved forward, exactly as Earth's strategists had predicted. The Empire had conquered thousands of worlds using the same tactics. They never needed to change them because they always worked. Until now. As the fleet reached Jupiter's orbit, Reed gave the signal. Hundreds of small objects that the Empire had dismissed as space debris suddenly moved. They were microships, each carrying a quantum torpedo, a weapon unknown to the Empire. "Launch Operation Fireflies," Reed commanded. The microships struck from all directions at once. Imperial shields, designed to stop large energy weapons, couldn't catch these tiny attackers. 20 Imperial ships exploded before they even realized they were under attack. "Their formation is breaking," Lieutenant Adams reported, watching the enemy fleet scatter. "They're trying to regroup using standard Imperial Battle Protocol 7. Reed smiled. They had studied these protocols for years. Launch the Jupiter mines. Hidden in Jupiter's rings, thousands of magnetic mines activated. The Empire's ships, following their present escape routes, flew right into them. More explosions lit up the space around the gas giant. The Imperial fleet responded with massive energy weapons, filling space with deadly beams. But Earth's ships were different, smaller, faster, and more agile than anything the Empire had seen before. They danced between the energy beams, striking and vanishing like ghosts. "Enemy losses at 30%. Adams updated. "They're launching their fighter squadrons." The Empire's fighters were feared across the galaxy. They had never lost a large-scale space battle. But Earth had studied their tactics, their weaknesses. As the fighters approached, Earth's defense grid activated. Hundreds of hidden platforms around Jupiter's moons created a web of energy fields. The Imperial fighters, unable to change course fast enough, flew straight into them. Their engines died instantly, leaving them floating helplessly in space. The Imperial commander, desperate now, ordered their remaining ships to form the Empire's infamous Death Sphere formation. It was their ultimate battle strategy, unstoppable in thousands of previous conflicts. Reed keyed his comm. "All ships, execute Maneuver Thor's Hammer." Earth's fleet split into 3 groups. While 2 groups engaged the Death Sphere from different angles, the third activated their special weapons, gravity disruptors. The space around the Imperial ships began to twist and warp. The Empire's mighty formation broke apart as their ships lost formation, pulled by artificial gravity wells. Earth's vessels struck precisely at each weak point, their quantum torpedoes bypassing the confused Imperial shields. "Enemy fleet at 60% losses," Adams announced. They're retreating." The mighty Imperial fleet, or what was left of it, turned and fled. For the first time in centuries, they had been defeated. Not just defeated, they had been outmaneuvered, outsmarted, and overpowered. In the command center, Reed watched them go. "Send the message," he ordered. A simple transmission followed the retreating Imperial ships. "This was just our first line of defense. Earth remains closed to the Empire. Next time, we won't be so gentle." The Empire had learned a costly lesson. Earth wasn't just another primitive world to conquer. It was a porcupine. Small, determined, and covered in very sharp quills. 2 weeks after the Battle of Jupiter, Earth's Defense Council gathered in their underground command center. The room buzzed with energy as Dr. Robert Miller stepped up to present Project Porcupine's next phase. "The Empire's attack showed us both their strengths and weaknesses," Miller said, his hand sweeping across the holographic display. "Now it's time to show them what humanity can really do." The display lit up with images of new defensive structures being built across the solar system. Earth wasn't just building walls. They were creating the galaxy's most advanced defensive network. "Operation Porcupine Phase 2, Miller explained, pointing to a ring of stations around Mars. "We're not just defending Earth anymore. We're securing our entire solar system." Admiral Reed watched as the presentation showed their new technologies. Hidden shipyards in the asteroid belt were producing advanced vessels day and night. The Empire's attack had only made humanity work faster, think smarter. "Our AI defense systems have analyzed every second of the battle," Miller continued. "We now understand Imperial technology better than they do. Their shields have a refresh rate of 0.3 seconds. Our new quantum torpedoes can strike in 0.2. The council members nodded in approval. On the main screen, construction robots swarmed around a massive structure taking shape in Earth's orbit. It was the new Defense Command Station, bigger than anything humanity had built before. "But our real advantage," Miller said, his voice filled with pride, "is this." He pressed a button, and a new image appeared. It showed a small device, no bigger than a coffee cup. The Gravity Disruptor 2.0. Small enough to fit on fighter ships, powerful enough to stop an Imperial cruiser. Lieutenant Adams, now promoted to captain, stepped forward with her report. "Our ships are now faster and more agile than anything in the Imperial fleet. Their standard tactics can't handle our mobility." The display showed simulation after simulation of Earth ships outmaneuvering Imperial vessels. The Empire relied on big ships and bigger weapons. Earth had chosen a different path. Smaller, faster, smarter. "We've also cracked their communication codes," Adams added. "Every transmission they send, we can read. Every order they give, we know about it. They still think we're just lucky primitives who got a few good hits." President Turner stood up, looking at the assembled leaders. "The Empire will return. They've never faced defeat before. Their pride won't let them ignore us." "Let them come," Reed responded. "Every day they wait makes us stronger. We've activated the Deep Space Sensor Network. We'll know they're coming before they even leave their staging area." The display shifted to show the solar system's new defense grid. Thousands of satellites, hidden platforms, and automated defense stations created an invisible web. Any Imperial ship entering the system would face layers of defenses, each one deadlier than the last. "Remember," Turner said, "we're not just defending Earth anymore. We're showing the galaxy that the Empire isn't invincible. Other worlds are watching." Miller brought up one final image, a map of known Imperial territory. "We've already detected unusual activity. Some frontier worlds are quietly reaching out to us. They want to know how we did it, how we stood up to the Empire." Reed smiled. "Then let's give them something to really talk about. Activate the Quantum Entanglement Communication Network." Across the solar system, hidden transmitters powered up. Earth could now communicate instantly across vast distances, something the Empire thought impossible. They weren't just defending anymore. They were changing the rules of space warfare. "The Empire thinks they know what we can do," Turner concluded. They think they saw our best weapons, our strongest defenses. They have no idea what's waiting for them. As the council meeting ended, humanity's new defense network hummed to life. From the frozen mines of Mercury to the distant outposts of Neptune, every part of the solar system bristled with hidden strength. The Empire would return. Everyone knew that. But they would find a very different solar system waiting for them. Earth wasn't just refusing to join the Empire. It was showing the galaxy a new way to fight back. News travels fast, even in space. 3 months after Earth's victory, stories spread through the Empire's frontier worlds like wildfire. A small world had stood up to the mighty Empire and won. In the Earth Defense Command Station, Captain Adams watched as another signal came in from deep space. "Sir, we've got another one," she called to Admiral Reed. "A rebel group from the Centauri colonies wants to talk." Reed studied the growing map of resistance movements across Imperial space. Green dots marked worlds that had secretly contacted Earth. There were dozens now, growing every day. "Put them through on the quantum channel," Reed ordered. The Empire couldn't track these communications. Earth's technology had made sure of that. A tired-looking alien appeared on the screen. His species looked like tall humans with silver skin. "Earth Command, this is Freedom Cell 7, he said in a whisper. "We need your help. We've seen what you did, how you fought them off." President Turner, who had been quietly watching, stepped forward. "Tell us what you need." "The Empire takes everything from us," the rebels said. "Our resources, our freedom, our future. But your defense systems, if we had those." Turner nodded to Dr. Miller, who had been waiting for this moment. "We can help," Miller said, sending encrypted plans through the quantum network. "These are designs for basic shield generators and gravity disruptors, things you can build with materials the Empire thinks are worthless." The rebel's eyes widened as he saw the plans. This could change everything. And it did. Across the frontier worlds, hidden factories began producing Earth-designed weapons. The Empire's grip started slipping, one planet at a time. An Imperial cargo ship arrived at a mining colony, demanding its usual tribute of precious metals. Instead, it found its systems shut down by a gravity disruptor. The colony declared its independence the next day. In the Rigel sector, 3 worlds coordinated their rebellions using quantum communicators built from Earth's designs. By the time the Imperial fleet arrived, the rebels had already set up a defensive network. "Sir," Adams reported one morning, "Imperial deserters are requesting asylum. They say more are coming." Reed met with the first group of deserters himself. They were Imperial officers, tired of serving an empire built on conquest and theft. They brought with them something precious, detailed information about Imperial fleet movements and defensive systems. "The Empire is panicking," one deserter explained. "They've never dealt with anything like this. Their whole system depends on worlds being too weak to fight back." In the council chamber, Turner addressed Earth's leaders. "Phase 3 is working better than we hoped. The Empire's foundation is cracking. Their own people are turning against them." Dr. Miller presented the latest intelligence. 17 frontier worlds have successfully broken away. Another 30 are preparing to rebel. The Empire's forces are stretched thin trying to maintain control. But the best part, Adams added with a smile, is that they still don't know Earth is behind it all. They think these rebellions are random, unconnected. The quantum network lit up again. This time, it was a message from a major Imperial world, one of their biggest shipbuilding centers. "We've seen the truth," their message read. "The Empire called Earth primitive, but you've shown us a better way. We want to join the free worlds." Reed turned to Turner. "It's happening faster than we planned. The Empire's probably going to figure out soon that we're helping the rebels." "Good," Turner replied. "Let them come. Every world they've lost has made us stronger. Their own technology is being turned against them." In deep space, more Imperial ships deserted their posts. The Empire's iron grip was failing. Planets that had been under Imperial control for centuries were rising up, using Earth's weapons and tactics. The Empire had thought crushing Earth would be simple. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous: hope. Hope that spread from world to world, carried by quantum signals and hidden transmissions. Earth wasn't just defending itself anymore. It was showing the galaxy that even the smallest world could stand up to the biggest empire. The resistance wasn't just growing. It was becoming an avalanche. Red alerts flashed across Earth's defense grid. The quantum sensors had detected something massive. The largest fleet ever assembled in Imperial history was heading toward the solar system. 3,000 ships, Captain Adams reported, her voice steady despite the news. They've emptied every garrison in their core worlds. This is everything they have. Admiral Reed stood at the command center's main window, watching Earth's defensive platforms glide silently through space. Send the signal. Operation Thunderstorm begins now. Across the solar system, hidden bases activated. Earth's ships emerged from secret docks in asteroids, under planetary surfaces, and from cloaked stations. The entire solar system bristled with weapons and defenses built over months of preparation. The Empire's transmission is coming through, Adams announced. On the main screen, the Imperial High Commander appeared. His face showed rage and desperation. "Primitive world," he snarled, "you have corrupted our territories, stolen our worlds, and defied our power. This ends today. Surrender now, or we will destroy every planet in your system." President Turner stepped forward to respond. "You still don't understand. Look around you." The Imperial fleet suddenly detected new signals. Behind them, 100 ships appeared, deserters from their own navy. From other directions came ships from the freed worlds, all built with Earth's technology. The Empire's fleet was surrounded. "Last chance," Turner said calmly. "Leave our space. Go back to your core worlds. This doesn't have to end in destruction." The Imperial commander's response was to open fire. 3,000 ships launched their weapons at once, enough firepower to shatter a planet. But Earth was ready. "Activate the quantum shield network," Reed ordered. Around the solar system, hidden satellites created overlapping energy fields. The Imperial weapons hit these shields and disappeared into quantum space, harmlessly displaced into another dimension. "All ships, execute Battle Plan Delta," Reed commanded. "Show them what humanity can do." Earth's fleet moved with perfect coordination. Smaller ships slipped between the giant Imperial vessels, their gravity disruptors creating chaos in the enemy formation. Quantum torpedoes struck with surgical precision, targeting the weak points Earth had learned from the deserters. The Empire's usual tactics fell apart. Their ships were too big, too slow to fight in the quantum-disturbed space. Earth's vessels danced around them, striking and vanishing, while the rebel ships attacked from behind. "They're trying to form the Death Sphere again," Adams reported. Reed actually smiled. "Just like we thought. Activate the gravity web." Hidden platforms around the solar system powered up, creating a massive network of artificial gravity fields. The Imperial fleet found itself trapped, their ships pulled in different directions. "Their shields are failing," Miller reported from his station. "The quantum disruption is working exactly as planned." The Imperial commander's face appeared again on the screen. "What are you?" he demanded. "How can primitives do this?" "We were never primitive," Turner replied. "We just let you think we were. Every world you conquered taught us. Every weapon you used showed us what to build. We turned your own pride against you." The battle raged for hours. Imperial ships, the pride of their fleet, exploded or drifted powerless. Earth's casualties were minimal. Their ships were too fast, too well protected by the quantum shields. "Enemy fleet is at 60% losses," Adams announced. 50% of their remaining ships are disabled. The Imperial commander made one last, desperate move. He ordered his remaining ships to make a suicide run at Earth. It would have worked against any normal defense system. But Earth's defenses weren't normal. The quantum shield simply teleported the attacking ships to the outer solar system, leaving them stranded and powerless. Imperial command ship is signaling, Adams said. They're surrendering. The mighty Imperial fleet, or what was left of it, powered down their weapons. The Empire had thrown everything they had at Earth, and Earth had broken them. Reed turned to Turner. Send the message we prepared. Across every Imperial channel, Earth broadcast its terms. The Empire would withdraw from all frontier worlds. They would stay within their core systems. The age of Imperial expansion was over. The Empire had finally met a force they couldn't conquer, a small blue planet that had turned their own arrogance into their greatest weakness. 1 month after the Great Battle, ships from 100 worlds gathered around Earth's orbit. They came not as conquerors or subjects, but as equals, ready to build something new from the ashes of the Empire's defeat. In the grand meeting hall of the Defense Command Station, President Turner looked out at the assembled representatives. Some had blue skin, others silver. Some floated in environmental suits, while others walked on multiple legs. All had come because Earth had shown them something they thought impossible: freedom. The Empire's reign of conquest is over, Turner announced to the gathered aliens. But our work is just beginning. Admiral Reed stood beside the main display, showing the new map of known space. The Empire's territory had shrunk to its core worlds. The outer systems, once under Imperial control, now shone with the green light of independence. Earth doesn't want to become a new empire, Reed explained. We're proposing something different, the Free Systems Alliance. Dr. Miller stepped forward, activating a hologram of the new defense network. We'll share our technology with all member worlds. Quantum shields, gravity weapons, FTL drives. Everything we develop to fight the Empire will now protect your freedom. The alien representatives murmured in approval. They had seen Earth's technology in action, watched it shatter the most powerful fleet in known space. Captain Adams presented the next part of the plan. Our quantum communication network already connects most of your worlds. Now we'll expand it, create a true galactic community where information flows freely. A tall alien with crystalline skin raised his hand. But what stops this alliance from becoming just another empire? Turner smiled. Look around this room. Every world in the alliance will have an equal vote. No single planet, not even Earth, can control the others. We'll defend each other, trade with each other, but each world stays free to choose its own path. The crystalline alien nodded, satisfied. One by one, the representatives stepped forward to sign the Alliance Charter. Each signature represented a free world, choosing to stand together. In the Empire's former territories, change was already spreading. Imperial statues fell. Trade routes reopened, free from Imperial taxation. Ships that once carried tribute now transported technology and knowledge. The Empire's diplomats are requesting a meeting, Adams reported during a quiet moment. They want to discuss permanent borders. Reed checked the latest intelligence. Their fleet is still in shambles. The core worlds are in chaos. They're not trying to trick us. They're afraid of us. Not of us, Turner corrected. They're afraid of what we represent. Every Imperial system that sees our success is another potential rebellion. They don't want our ideas spreading further. In the following days, ships from Earth visited the newly free worlds, helping them set up defensive systems. The quantum network grew stronger as more planets joined. Knowledge that the Empire had hoarded for centuries began to flow freely. During the final ceremony, Turner stood again before the Alliance representatives. A year ago, the Empire came to Earth expecting to find another primitive world to conquer. Instead, they found something they didn't understand, a world that had learned from their mistakes. The main screen showed live images from across known space, freed worlds rebuilding, former Imperial citizens celebrating, ships from different planets trading freely. We hid our strength not because we were weak, Turner continued, but because we were smart. We let the Empire's pride blind them. Now we'll show the galaxy a better way forward. The assembly erupted in cheers. The Alliance Charter, displayed on the wall, gleamed with the signatures of over 100 worlds. At the top, a simple phrase summed up everything they had fought for. Every world free, every people strong, every voice heard. Earth had done more than defeat an empire. It had changed the very nature of galactic civilization. The story of the small blue planet that shattered the Imperial fleet would be told for generations. But the best stories were just beginning. A new age of exploration, cooperation, and freedom was dawning. The galaxy would never be the same, and it all started because one small world dared to say no to an empire.